Uh, Ladies and gentlemen of the press, today is November 3. We, under the banner of Council of Patriots, have gathered here to the Liberian people through Liberia. The opportunity or the chance to the SG to address the nation, because my because there are a lot of issues the nation is confronted with, and Patriots must speak out now to tell the Liberian people that indeed enough is enough. So on this backdrop, I want to use my heart and give the chance to the SG to address the media. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our country is faced with a lot of issues, critical among which we will be endeavoring to discuss today. So I'm happy to have you here, especially those from KMTV and from Front Page Africa. It is expected that by the time we're done with this interaction, we will share light on a lot of issues that are confronting us as a country. There's a reason why I chose to interaction with the Liberian people. We usually will have interactions where there will be chantings and singings and everything, but I thought to have this so that I can speak to the heart of the Liberian people, to speak one-on-one to the Liberian people, so that they clearly understand the challenges we're faced with as a country, and how the Council of Patriots is standing in their gap to settle. To draw a broad-based coalition of patriots to address some of these challenging issues. So I have talking points that I'd like to for example, we'll start with the economy, we'll go to security, rule of law, going to governance, health, and social services, and other areas that I would expect the media to engage us on. So the issue of the economy. It is no telling that our economy is in shambles. Businesses are folding. Foreign direct investment is at best zero. In fact, businesses are folding out. They are leaving. So this tells you there is an acute economic challenge that this country is faced with. Now, recently there is noticeably the shortage of Liberian dollars on the market. So that is a concerning issue. We need authorities to tell us where is the Liberian dollars. To my recollection, Liberia is the only country where that currency can be used. So someone is either hoarding the currency or they're doing it for a particular political reason. So this has got to move the Liberian people to take actions. Recently, we are informed of the printing of $4 billion, all in $500 language. It is also an open secret that it is put from a particular campaign that particular denomination of brand new Liberian dollar notes is being expended. That is from the Thomas Fowler campaign. So this points to collusion between state actors and the political arrangement to put this economic situation in a chaotic state that affects the Liberian people. So we're coming to you from the Council of Patriots to ask these hard questions that your leaders should be answering. They should answer to these questions. It is concerning. Now, we also have the issue of job creation. You know, I've placed a lot of apologists of this government on the issue of job creation in the private sector. I've asked them how many new private sector jobs have been added since the CDC government took over. They are yet to tell us how many sustainable private sector jobs or decent private sector jobs have been added over the last 2.5, 3 years. So these are indicators that the economy is performing when there are new jobs addition, when there are new business opportunities coming to the country, when there are stimulations in the local economy so that small businesses also get faster turnover, you know. These are signs that the economy is performing. But unfortunately, we have businesses that are losing goods from their shelves. Small businesses with no capacity to maintain their prevalent among, small businesses in the country. What is the government doing to ameliorate the economic situation that this country is faced with? What are the steps, is taking to reach out to small businesses. So these are key concerns that we try to bring to the Liberian people from our heart. No noise, quiet. Listen to them and make a judgment. And this is not a political intervention. This is from a patriotic standpoint where Liberians, irrespective of their political leanings, can read deep and think deep into these issues that we face with as a country. Make no mistake, seditionists are also doing businesses that are struggling. Liberty partisans are doing businesses that are struggling. Every Liberian is doing a certain kind of business that is struggling due to the overall economic situation of the country. So this cannot be seen from a political lens. It has to be seen from a nationalistic lens because it affects the generality of the population. Economy works, it works for everyone. It works for opposition and ruling party alike. If it doesn't work, similarly, everyone suffers. So there are arguments in this country we should not entirely, politicize because it affects everyone, no matter which side of the pendulum you are, no matter which side of the political eye you own. It affects you and affects the core of our country. Now, the issue of judiciary and the rule of law in this country and security, I'll treat all three topics as one. Rule of law is becoming a serious challenge for this government. As I speak to you, a journalist was murdered, and preliminary investigation from the police suggests that he was murdered. He was killed by a bullet. So where are we going as a country when journalists are targeted, when auditors are killed? You see, the reason the death of the auditors is really important for this discourse is that auditors are meant to ensure balance in the general running of institutions. They are not only there to say somebody stole money, they are also there to ensure that they build systems and structures. That is the importance of auditors. But when you think audit in this country, you wouldn't think someone's coming to say, I stole money. The work of auditors transcends that. Auditors are meant to build administrative processes and procedures that are meant to guard against future abuse. So their work transcends determining culpability, criminal culpability, right? So when auditors are targeted and killed or murdered, and government, I'm not accusing government of doing killings, right? But my disappointment is that government has not been taking any serious concrete steps to make arrests and bring people to book when auditors are killed. I'm informed of an autopsy that was carried out, a pathological examination that was carried out. As we speak, the result has not been announced. What is withholding the announcement of the result of the autopsy that was carried out? We need to know this because when auditors are systematically targeted and eliminated, what that says is that there is going to be eventually the crumbling of these institutions that are meant to safeguard our public trust. These integrity institutions. These institutions were built so that they serve as a buffer between government, state actors, and the public trust. So once that buffer is broken, you'll see a systemic abuse of office by those in power. So it is critical that those who are meant to provide the safety net for the conduct of public office are protected. Now we have 4 dead, and we still don't have any substantial intervention from the government, right? That has even led to arrest. So that is troubling for us at the Council of Patriots. So we try to have these interactions with the press to tell you, the Liberian people, how critical it is and how we all should stand up and demand justice for these murdered auditors. We have reasons to believe that they were murdered. We have reasons to believe. So we have to come together. Now, on the issue of police brutality, the police is meant to be a force for good. And it is even disheartening that police who are paid by taxpayers are in turn used to harass the very taxpayers. This is concerning. And Liberians should stand up and say no to police brutality. As a matter of fact, the Council of Patriots is even advocating for improvement in the wages and earnings of police officers. So we cannot be fighting for you and you are brutalizing us. You are defeating your own fight. We are standing with and for you. You cannot be brutalizing us when we stand up for our right, which is constitutionally guaranteed. And then we are even so It is not fair that police officer should take home $150, when he is in harm's way from time to time fighting crime, when individuals who have little or no risks at their job make far more than that. There has to be a reform in police earnings and wages and other areas. Health sectors, for example, health workers have to receive decent pay and dignity of labor has to be extended to them. It has to happen. Health workers can go to hospital and not have anything to work with. It's one thing to get a job and work and get paid. It's another thing to go and do that job and get tools to work. People actually want to work. They just don't want to get paid. So it is an issue that we all should stand up for and demand government to intervene on behalf of our servicemen in the armed forces, in the law enforcement area generally, that's the police, fire service, DEA, every law enforcement parastatus. Their earnings should be improved so that they stay with the people and for the people as they should, as officers of the law. So these are issues that we want to bring to your attention as Liberians. Let's discuss them. This is not a political issue. This is something that pierces to the core of our existence as a people and a country. How can we tackle these issues as a country? Let's keep talking about this. Now, we have the issue of fear that has taken over the entire country. It's barely 6, 7 o'clock every day, and then you have people running home as though there's curfew in the city. There's no curfew. But there is a fear regime. People feel that you could be killed on your way home. You could even die in your home. As the late auditor, internal auditor head, the internal audit boss was found there in his home. So nowhere is safe. Even the comfort of your home now is no longer safe for you because of what you do or what you should do, right, based on your employment terms. He was doing his job. And has come to public knowledge that 48 million of COVID-19 funding is unaccounted for. So clearly there is a relationship between his murder, his death, and the release of that report. Conclusion. So we are encouraging the government, right, to take a stand and ensure that this matter and many other mysterious deaths are investigated and there can be closure to these matters. So it's of critical importance to us and many other issues. But the real reason I call you here today, all the issues we're discussing are issues that have already happened. For example, the auditors are dead. The journalist in Banga is dead. 25 million mop-up exercise is already done. Money is probably already stolen. But the issue I wanted to discuss today is the issue of the $20 billion stimulus package. That is a crime waiting to happen. That is a theft waiting to be committed against the people of Liberia by their leaders. And this is what we are calling you to stand on November 16th. To stop this theft, this broad-day thievery from happening. To provide stimulus relief to those shut in as a result of the coronavirus outbreak. Since May, 30 million of that amount was set aside for relief package. It was said that they were going to procure rice, vegetable oil, and beans to provide to people who are vulnerable in these counties and those who were shut in and who barely make a daily living because some of the earnings were making were so meager. They were not sustainable, and then they had to be shut in. So this came as a relief for them in the heat of the pandemic. Now, not only did the package not come in the heat of the pandemic, even now as we speak, the package has not been fully rolled out. So this is concerning. Now, the WFP was contracted to do this exercise. I'm sure when it came with the administrative cost, they have considered all of the impact assessment, environmental, road condition, mobility, logistics, everything. Manpower, they have considered all when they quoted a certain amount as would be the charge of cost for rolling out this particular exercise. Now, the former Minister of Commerce who was in charge of this, who's now at the Environmental Protection Agency, Professor Wilson Tappet, was invited to the Senate, and all he could say was the road conditions. So according to him, the relief package is still present, it is still stored, in warehouses. They are waiting for the rules to be better before the packages are rolled out. So what we are saying is, we that are in Monserrate, in Mikey, in Bomi, in Grand Cape Mount, in Bon County, we don't have road issues. So by November 16, we expect that people living in these counties, as I've named, will receive their packages. They should receive their packages. Otherwise, this is broad day theft. People are stealing money, broad day, which was intended for the poorest among us. So they are now stealing from the very poor people. And let me tell you how this is even more embarrassing. As we speak, we are already paying for the money. Because a condition to give that loan was to increase the price of petroleum products by 10 cents per gallon. So every time you buy a gallon of petrol product, you actually are paying for that loan. So you already are paying for it. So for you to not receive something that you already are paying for, you have been stolen from. And this is not a partisan argument. Seditions are being robbed. Liberty partisans have been robbed. Unity partisans have been robbed. Non-partisans have been robbed. The poor people have been robbed. You have been robbed. You seditions. Your government is stealing from you. This is, leave me, leave COP. I'm telling you that your government is stealing from you. This should anger you. This is not about speaking against your government as an opposition party. This is me telling you that your government is stealing from you. And I'm giving you reasons enough to believe that your government is stealing from you. Why are you not angry about that? Or are you going to give the government carte blanche to steal whenever they want to steal? This is theft that is being committed against you. You should get angry. You should rise up. You should ask for your rights. You should ask for your beans. You should ask for your corn. Join us on November 16. Come. Take an empty bag of rice, empty gallon for your corn, plastic bag for your beans. Gather. Tell them we want our beans, we want our rice, we want our oil. They are stealing. The information I'm receiving is that they are storing all of these right around the election time. You're going to give them all the canopy of the Thomas Farah campaign. So it's going to come out as a donation from the campaign. So they are going to use what is meant for you legitimately, irrespective of your political alignment. They're going to use it as a political tool to gain votes. This is how they're using you. And you can hate me for what you want. You can hate the COP for what we stand for. But you cannot hate yourself. Because you're stealing from you. So if you can't stand up for someone stealing from you in broad day, you hate yourself. And we can only say as much. We can't do more than talking. And standing up and protesting and demanding answers. But you have to stand with us. This is a clarion call for all of us to rise up. Let's rise up, stand together as a people, and demand the right things to be done. Before I entertain questions from you, I'd like to speak to the incidents that happened yesterday. As I speak to you, I have not been able to watch the video of the self-immolation of activist Leroy Akipompon at the Temple of Justice. I've only seen still photos, and even those I've faintly seen them. I've not mustered the courage of heart to even see the video. So imagine what courage this man had when he carried on that singular act. Now, some of you will talk down on him. Some of you will speak differently about him. But one thing remains constant. What he did, his action, was purely patriotic. His action was patriotic. That is the seat of the judiciary. That is the final arbiter of justice. That is where, when you are agreed, that is where you go and get justice. So beyond the Supreme Court, you have to leave your own with God, like we say in Liberia. You have to leave your own with God. You have a man setting himself ablaze on the grounds of the temple of justice. Where justice is supposed to be served, he is protesting unpaid wages due him and his colleagues. And while that, I'm informed that he was suspended time indefinite. And then to add insult to injury, a writ of arrest was issued on him on authority from the Chief Justice, Justice Francis Copper. So you have the Chief Justice masterminding the issuing of a writ of arrest for a judicial employee for standing up for himself and his colleagues on the grounds of the Temple of Justice, who was suspended for time indefinite. And then the Chief Justice is taking this man to court. Now, I'm not saying the Chief Justice doesn't have a right to take people to court. But this issue, as was protested and demonstrated by Akeem Pompon and his colleagues, is a legitimate issue. They do owe them unpaid wages, unpaid salaries. Instead of working towards paying them, you have the Chief Justice issuing rate on a hungry man. A man who for months has not been able to take home a salary that he's worked for. A Chief Justice whose income far exceeds $10,000 per month cannot even stand up for his staff. Even with financial autonomy, the judiciary has financial autonomy. So in other words, they don't wait for final minister to process payroll, process voucher. No. When the budget passes, they put all of their money in their account. They run their money. But they can't pay their staff. And that is the judiciary. So this will tell you that this country now has become a kangaroo state, where there no longer reliance on the judiciary for the dispensation of justice. You can be sure that there will be fair and adequate dispensation of justice. And we've seen that manifest several times, to the extent that when some decisions come out, we're even surprised how they come from that court. Like, for example, the issue of Mariah Looking when she was found guilty for child trafficking. Everybody was like, wow, the court can actually get people guilty. You know, because there's no more confidence and trust in the judiciary. And that should not happen. People should have to trust their government. There is no public trust in the government. There is a fear regime. So, fellow Liberians, I did not come here to talk politics. I came to speak to you about issues that are affecting us as a people. You can put politics into it if you want to. You can say, I'm from CoP, we want to protest, we like protesting. But at the end of the day, these issues are affecting us one way or the other. They are affecting us. They are affecting your brothers. They are affecting your sisters. They are affecting people that are on different sides of the political aisle. They are affecting people that are not politicians. They are not interested in politics. They just want to have the fair opportunity to get what they should get. That government should provide for their security and the pursuit of happiness. That is the singular responsibility of their government. And clearly, this government had reneged on these responsibilities. And that is why we should come together, stand up, and speak to our government and tell them that enough is enough. Enough is enough. Our government has to work for us. That is the hope we saw when they took over. To the extent that it can work for us, we have to remind them. We guarantee that our assembly beginning November 16th is going to be peaceful. Even though we're going to be spread across the country, we're going to have gatherings in my county in Canada, gatherings in Buchanan, gatherings in Banga, gatherings in Ganta, and there's several other locations in Monrovia. We can guarantee that our assembly is going to be peaceful. All of our protest leads that we've identified in these areas know that we are going to be peaceful, and they are telling our people who are gathering to these areas to be peaceful. WFP clearly is now colluding with the Liberian government to steal from the people. The WFP was contracted to roll out this exercise. They need to come out and tell us what is the reason for the delay in the rollout of this process. We are going to go to the United Nations House one of those days during our protest. We are going to go to UN House on the bypass on the Capitol Hill. We are going to ask them for our package, our stimulus package. We're going to ask the WFP. The government contracted you. You quoted the government at a certain fee. They put all the money in your account. That's the information I received. That money was deposited into the WFP's account. So the WFP has the money. Why are they not rolling out the exercise? When they quoted the government that they will use 1.9 million, I'm sure they carry out their assessment. WFP has carried out relief activities in this country for years, for decades. So they know our road conditions, not new. They've always been here. So to use road condition, even though that's not the VLP argument, but for Western Tapping to say road condition is the reason why there's an being rolled out, they should tell us why the people of Montserrat County in the 17 districts, the 17 districts have not been able to get their package. They should tell us that. So that is the issue that we want the Liberian people to be aware of, among other issues. The WFP is going to be involved in this situation. They have to tell us why we haven't received our package. They have to tell us clearly why those that are in areas that are reachable haven't received their package. And they have to tell us why we should not protest, even though the WFP just won the Nobel Peace Prize. So they won a Nobel Peace Prize, and then they are now colluding with a government to steal from its people. The WFP is on trial. I'm saying this very clearly. The WFP is on trial. They have to answer to these. The government said they deposited the money for this exercise into their account. So the WFP has the money. Why are people in Montserrat not being served? They should speak to that. So I want to thank you for coming. I would like to take questions from you all.
Let me be the first. You might have fallen in trouble with the allegation of you linking WFP to the Liberian government of allegedly stealing from the Liberian people. I would like you to explain further. So on the issue that you spoke about, you have outlined a lot of issues. What have you done before resorting into protest? Have you met the Liberian government to interact with them, to discuss this issue, to find a way forward before going out on the street?
Okay, so with the issue of WFP, their continual silence on this issue is an indication of complicity. They're complicit in this theft, this broad theft against the Liberian people. They're complicit. They have to tell us clearly what's the status of this stimulus package arrangement. They have to tell us why they halted the process. Right now, look, I have information that they're only doing glossing. They're just glossing around the counties, picking a few villages and carrying cameras and pretending that everything is all right. We need this exercise to be fully rolled out. They went to homes. They came to my house and marked my house. I don't have burial condition to where I live. Why haven't I received my package? All of you listening to me right now and viewing this, where you live right now in Liberia, do you have burial condition? Did people come to your house to mark your homes? Yes. Do you have burial condition? No. Why haven't you been served? That is the question we should be answering. Because by the fact that you were enumerated, it means you were captured in a distribution plan. So why were you captured in the plan? You do not have burial condition, but you are not being served. That is an issue that we should be concerned with. And the WFP, without explaining that to us, will prove their complicity in this matter. So they are complicit. It's an allegation, I understand. But to the extent that the WFP is silent on this matter, and it's lingered for long since May, June, July, August, September, October, now November, we think it shows clear sign of collusion between the government and the World Food Program. And this issue will be amplified, that their headquarters in Italy will be informed. And we're taking this issue very seriously. We are taking this to the United Nations headquarters. We are going to take this, right? And then your next question was?
What have you done?
Okay, about engaging government. We have written officially the government of Liberia about our plan action. So this is not a secret. And we've outlined reasons that we're protesting, and we've asked them to provide security for us. And these issues, Edwin, have been in the public space. And all of the actors in our government circle are exposed to this. As a matter of fact, they argue with us on Facebook back to back. Ministers of government, stakeholders in this government, so they know of these issues. So the best thing to do is to do them now. And if they do them, we will not protest on the 16th. If they roll out the stimulus package relief and go to people, and we see that they are doing it, there's massive rollout of the exercise, right? We see that the issue of the debt of the 4 auditors, that government is serious in dealing with that. They missing young boys, the 3 guys that were missing. See, Moses is still moving all around here. There's no sign of him even being arrested, even though he has been accused. Right? That's an issue that we have to be concerned with. Why is the police not arresting Moses? Why? He's clearly in the middle of this. He's been accused at the the very least, he should be at the police station answering questions. But he's not. So we want some